we're here in Parksville at the home of the Andersons. Welcome to Green Side Up. I'm Bill Saunderson to start yet another landscape job. So let's go and see what the customers have to say.
We decided that we do not like this grass out at the front because it's got about 4 or 5 different colors of grass growing in it, lots of moss, weeds, etc. And even with a year's worth of lawn maintenance by a company, it still looks awful.
All lawns are entitled to be ugly, but this one actually really does abuse the privilege. So what we're going to be doing here is actually taking out the entire front lawn, so no more lawn to cut. That's the first thing.
The other reason we'd like to get rid of it is it's on a fairly steep slope, and that's getting harder and harder for us old people to push a lawnmower on.
We've taken them around to a few jobs that we've done over the past year or two, or last few years in fact, to give them some ideas on what to do in their front landscaping.
And he showed us just a gravel pathway going up with lots of plants on either side. And that's what we really loved. So that's what we decided to do.
And then of course we've got some beautiful landscape rocks to accent throughout the landscape on both sides. So it'll serve as a path from the roadway up to the top and through to the backyard, and also give them great curb appeal with some beautiful plants that Carol and I picked out at the nursery.
Bill took us through the nursery and we picked out plants. Of course, he was very good about telling me which ones the deer would love as much as I did, so guess what? We don't want those plants.
I think we managed to get a quite varied plant selection here with the deer in mind, because there are apparently lots of deer here, so we want to make sure that we're relatively deer resistant. There's no such thing as deer proof, but there's definitely deer resistant. We have a beautiful red Samanagashi Japanese maple. We've got some beautiful Spanish lavender, which will give lots of summer color. And where we have a little bit of shade up towards the top of the garden, we've got the Himalayan sweetbox, which is Sarcococa. We have some very nice gold thread cypress, some nice ornamental grasses that will really look good with the rocks once they're placed in the landscape. We also have our favorites, of course, some nice grasses that'll give some nice detail. They're the first to move when we get some a little bit of breeze. These will move. Now they're bronze sedge. They keep this color 12 months of the year. Occasionally you might have to clean them up and cut them back, but they come back each year.
We want to have color that's there year-round and some interesting shapes and textures and some things that will bloom at different times.
Coming through here, we've got some rhododendrons, different varieties. We've got some beautiful Berberis Rosy Glow, which has a pink, cream, and reddish leaf. And then we've got some rosemary, some spreading rosemary, and this is kind of a neat plant because it hasn't been out that long. This one's called Wilma's Gold. So you can see the color in there, and of course very fragrant. One of my favorites, of course, the Weeping Larch. This will go side by side next to a nice rock and weep out over the rock or through it. We've got Euphorbia, which is very pretty, evergreen 12 months of the year. Deer don't like that. Some more grasses, the Evergolds, and of course our President Roosevelt. And this one here is actually a native rhododendron called Ponticum. It's very well known for its foliage more than it is for its flowers, but this one does happen to have quite a few flower buds, so I think this is going to make a really good show in the spring. And then we'll do the second one down in here.
What I'm looking forward to seeing most is a beautiful landscape on that hillside with lush plants growing instead of ugly grass.
We got 15 yards of good composted soil here. This has got chicken manure in it, and we're going to mound this to raise the beds on both sides of the landscaping. And then of course between that we'll have our pathway, and I'm going to flare it down to the road and have it very like a sweeping one. We don't want any straight lines. There's nothing worse than straight lines in landscaping. We want to give it curb appeal and have it inviting so that people actually want to walk up and go through to the back.
I can't wait to see it done because I'm really excited about this. Bill's enthusiasm is kind of catching.
So we've got our sod cutter lined up. We're going to start taking all the sod out in the front here. Looking forward to get stuck into this job and give the Andersons a beautiful front yard with great curb appeal. So for Green Side Up, I'm Bill Saunderson. We'll see you at the next show.